is the NERF N-Series Purestrike. Ringing in at $5, this is a 2-barrel Smart Air Restrictor Direct Prime Pullback Nerf Dart Blaster. But this is the NERF N-Series Topbreaker. Coming in at $10, this is a 2-shot Smart Air Restrictor Direct Prime Pullback Blaster. Hasbro wants you to find the difference between these two blasters. They're the same blaster. At least I think they are. I haven't opened them yet, but what started as a really innocent, hey, these two blasters look really familiar video, spiraled out of control. Because this is the NERF N-Series Ward. Coming in at $5, this is a 2-barreled Smart Air Restrictor Direct Prime Pullback Dart Blaster. And dear viewer, I haven't even shown you half of them yet. Because in less than a year, Hasbro has reshelled this blaster at least 7 times. But of course, that's a bold claim for me to make when I haven't even unboxed these blasters yet. Extreme accuracy, speed, distance. Bold claim for a product that does basically none of those things, but at least it is an improvement over the original NERF Elite when it comes to performance. But of course, that was because of the Elite Series dart, which wasn't ever really that good. Basically, any other dart was superior to it. A thing Hasbro themselves fixed with the Purestrike series and then completely forgot about only a couple of years later. But of course, NERF was going to fix that, and that's why they made NERF Ultra. And that didn't work, so then they made NERF N-Series. $5 from my local Fred Meyer, and it includes 2 darts in this really minimalistic packaging, which is, as a collector, I hate it, but it's whatever if it saves the environment. Not exactly that hard to open either. First off, the blaster actually looks pretty cool, and for $5, you could do a heck of a lot worse. I really don't like how cheap this looks, and honestly, I'm getting some really extreme NERF Alpha Strike vibes. It's pretty much exactly what you would expect. It's got a trigger, it's got a prime, and it's got 2 barrels. You load the 2 darts into those 2 barrels, and it will magically know which barrel is loaded and which one isn't. Couldn't even include 4 darts, huh? So if I load only the bottom barrel with our N-Series dart, and it actually sits flush, which I do like, prime this blaster back, pull the trigger, it fires that dart. And if I put it in the top barrel and repeat the same thing, look at that. It knows exactly which barrel is loaded. But if you put in both darts, do you think it's going to shotgun both of them? Be one of the coolest $5 shotgun blasters ever? No, it's going to shoot just the top one first and then the bottom one. We've got a NERF tactical rail here at the bottom, which you could use for like a flashlight or a tactical snack holder. And of course, we've got a NERF tactical rail on the top for whatever optic you need for your tiny pistol that isn't accurate to begin with anyway. The grip is reasonably comfortable, except for this like finger choil right there, which it doesn't really work, but maybe for smaller hands, I mean, it is a kid's toy. Otherwise, the grip is very comfortable. The trigger is a simple slide back design, and the whole top part of this just looks like a gigantic NERF jolt. The T-pull is pretty comfortable, and the performance is darn good, at least by NERF standards. But of course, these are the same blaster. Down to the trigger, the grip is a little bit different, and this one says 2X on the side of it for some reason. And you do get an extra rail with the Purestrike, but I mean, they're pretty identical. This has the ring pull, this has the T-pull, but it's all in the same positions, and they're both basically the same blaster. Now, the Topbreaker is supposed to be break action, like it shows on the top of the blaster, except for, before I even open the package, I know exactly what's going on here. Are you familiar with something like the NERF Mega Tri-Break? But Walcom, it's break action! You love break action! Sorry, hypothetical viewer that has liked, left a comment, and subscribed to my YouTube channel, but just looking at the top of the package here shows us that the break action does nothing. Because Hasbro has lost the plot so poorly that they will charge you double the price for the exact same blaster. Well, we actually get to see the entire thing at this point, and there are some telltale signs that this is a Purestrike. The grips are the same. The T-pull prime is the same. The triggers are the same. And of course, we can see they used the exact same drop-in plunger tube that they did with the Ward. The Topbreaker is double the price of the Ward or the Purestrike, so how do they justify this cost? There's this big piece of plastic right here, which would be really cool if you could just like drop in 2 shots and flip it back up and prime it and fire it and everything would No, you break it and then you front load it, because the barrels, you can't even load the bottom barrel, first of all. It's kind of blocked off by that. And second of all, they don't do anything. Oh, but the Topbreaker comes with 4 darts, so all is forgiven. It's, that's some good break action, Hasbro. Oh, and I just realized this one has been primed the entire time from when I picked it up. Oh, they do give you this little, brace right there. It's, you could be a newborn infant that's still not a stock. Big old tactical rail up here at the top and another tactical rail down at the bottom. And you've got these, dart holders if you want to absolutely destroy your dart by rubbing up against literally anything. But yeah, break that thing open and you awkwardly front load the darts. And then you close it and you prime it back, and I mean, it's the same blaster. This is the same exact blaster as the Purestrike, even down to most of the grip and pretty much everything. It's the same blaster. You just get this absolutely useless piece of plastic that doesn't do anything. If that's worth the... That's kind of fun. If you feel that's worth double the price, well then you are Hasbro's target audience. And let's not forget, this is a ward, this is a ward, and this is a ward. They are all the exact same blaster. And I want to point out that NERF N Series came out last summer. It hasn't even been a year yet. But that's okay, because we've also got the NERF Triple Action Pack. It says pullback priming next to the fake Super Nintendo controller, which anyone buying this wouldn't actually know what that is. And it shows the ward. This one comes with the ward, but then it comes with the not ward, or the ward with a knuckle grip. And then it also says a 2 dart capacity pointing to the third blaster, but this also has a 2 dart capacity. This is 3 wards. And these 2 are specific to this package. You can't get them right now in any other way. Oh, come on, Walcom, you haven't actually unboxed them yet, so you don't know that they're identical to a ward. See the plunger tube? See the plunger tube? See the plunger tube and the ring pullback, that gives it away. These are the same blasters. This is 3 of the same blaster in one package, with them being slightly different shapes. I thought Bots and Blasters meme about the oops, all wards was a meme. No, because this came out last summer. I bought it off a store shelf and couldn't think of how to do a video on it because it's the same blaster I'd already reviewed. So this thing has been sitting around the entire time. Ta-da! Ta! Ta-to-ba! 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 This was a $20 package, by the way, but it does come with 12 N-Series darts. What a bargain! First up is the ward. A ward? Yeah, it's literally the exact same. It's not even in a special color. It's the same blaster, down to the fact they only painted the NERF logo on one side. But is this also a ward? Well, this one looks pretty cool, and that's actually pretty darn comfortable, except for the unreasonably thin and sharp trigger, but the grip is identical. It just has a knuckle guard on it. It's the same grip, though. That's so blatant it isn't funny. But I guess I'll laugh anyway. Holy crap. They literally reshelved the same blaster times 3 and put it in one box. Same pullback, same plunger tube, the 2-shot smart air restrictor setup. And there we go. Pull that back up. Yep, it's the exact same blaster. Interestingly enough, we can see this kind of rib right here that conjoins those 2 barrels. We can see that same rib on the Purestrike because it's exposed. So yeah, these are the exact same internals down to the trigger once again. But this one's clearly not a ward, right? I mean, it's still a 2-shot smart air restrictor barrel with the exact same grip as the ward and the exact same trigger. But this one has a different priming mechanism. It's like a top prime, except for it's still just a direct pullback. It's the same thing. They aren't even trying. It's just the same thing, but harder to use, including down to how you have to load this thing. You have to like push it through. I hope you have long enough fingers, or you can get your finger in there like that. It does have a tactical rail up at the top. I think that's supposed to be a foregrip, and I think that's supposed to be a stock. Again, I don't think an embryo in the womb could use this as a stock. And yes, on this one, you can see the rib connecting the two barrels together. So this is the same blaster. Aesthetically, this might be the coolest one. And again, it is extremely comfortable. There's really nothing wrong with this design except for it's kind of annoying to prime. Yeah, it's very annoying to prime. See, there's these two little ribs back here that make you think the blaster's caught, and it's not. You have to... Now, I take back everything I said. This is the worst one by far. Imagine you're unlucky enough to have, like, a birthday where your parents got you all these Nerf blasters. Let's imagine they got you the Ward, and then they got you the Purestrike, and they got you the Topbreaker, and then the triple action pack. That's $40 worth of Nerf blaster, but you do get 6 of them that are all the same blaster. And there are people in the comments section that are probably trying to tell me, Walcom, it's okay, these are for kids. Kids are dumb. They're not gonna realize it's the same blaster 5 times with a duplicate. Why am I yelling? Because you thought we were done. You actually thought, it hasn't even been a year yet, and you thought that was the lowest Hasbro could ever go. 5 reshells of the same exact internals with nothing added. I mean, they did that for the Jolt. Yeah, but most of the time the Jolt was kind of meant to be collectible. These are not really collectible. Yeah, see? I gotcha. Everything's a Jolt. No, I mean, they were literally meant to be collectible. They had like miniature versions of bigger blasters sold as Jolts in the Microshot line, and you were kind of meant to collect them all, and trust me, I tried. But there is more. Could you believe it? There actually is more to this. You wouldn't think it. You've got the Creeper and the Skeleton mod pack. I bought this. I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of planned on packing this one full of tannerite and driving to a quarry down the road and really seeing what a Nerf Minecraft Creeper can do. But that's a bit outside of my budget right now. The thing that clued me off that these are also wards wasn't the fact that when I bought this at the same time as the Nerf Triple Action Pack, that it was a 2-shot Smart Air Restrictor blaster. But if you take a Purestrike or a Ward or anything, and you put it right next to where the barrels are, they're the same thing. I can't believe Hasbro would do this. Actually, wait, no, I could totally believe they would do that. Again, just playing off the idea that kids are stupid. That kids will buy basically anything. How many darts? This comes with 8 darts, and I believe it was also $20 US. Okay, well, these ones don't have an actual trigger. They have less than that. They have a really recessed, terrible button located probably right on the plunger tube catch. And you prime it by pulling that down. Kids want this? I mean, I like the Creeper. I'm not like a Minecraft hater. I've played God knows how many hours of it over the last decade and a half, probably longer. But completely unsurprisingly, you load 2 darts into the top, you pull the legs down to prime it, and I think these are a little more underpowered. All right, Freddy, I can't aim this thing. Oh, it shoots out of the bottom. Okay, it's meant to go like that. 57.3, 60.7, 89.4, 83, 88.7, 58.1. They literally nerfed the Nerf Minecraft things. It's unbelievable. They're for the same age range, aren't they? No, you know what? I actually want proof. It's the exact same blaster. Yeah, it's the exact same setup, just with a slightly different trigger. In less than a year, Hasbro reshelled the Nerf N-Series Ward 7 times. And this is just the ones I know of, or the ones I have. This doesn't count the new Nerf N-Series Duo pack, which doesn't say they are Nerf N-Series wards, but it's just 2 N-Series wards. And you know they're the exact same internals because I could see these two edges right here on whatever this thing's supposed to be called. This is everything that's wrong with Hasbro. This is why Nerf is just garbage now. Even if you try to make the argument that these are for kids, imagine being that kid that got all of these at the same time. Because mom and dad didn't realize they were all the exact same thing. We have 7 blasters that are all the exact same plunger system and everything, just in slightly different shapes. And I do mean slightly different. And I'm genuinely curious, is this okay to you? Sure, you can just not buy the blaster, or let's do something kind of crazy and maybe Hasbro could just make better blasters. There's nothing wrong with the N-Series ward, but it was not so amazingly good that it needed to be remade 7 times in less than a year. And I mean, these things are rough. The triggers feel like garbage. They feel so cheap and terribly made because they're meant to be cheap and terribly made. What was once a market leader for so long, there isn't a single bit of ingenuity here either. Because while the Nerf N-Series ward does shoot N1 darts, it is identical to so many other blasters out there. The only thing the ward does is it shoots the new dart. The new dart that Hasbro is doing so little with, they could take these internals and slap it into all of this. This is why I have no hope for the future. Because who knows how many more of these are gonna come out and clog store shelves where they could just make something cool. It was almost comical with the jolt. This is blatant. And it actually kind of breaks my heart a little bit to see so little care, attention, innovation put into a Nerf blaster design in space year 2025 when they did so much better over a decade ago. I would love to hear the Hasbro employee explain to me like I'm a 5-year-old why this is totally cool and unique and acceptable to just repackage the same blaster and pretend it's something completely different 7 times in less than a year. I mean, I guess I might as well go out and buy the duo pack because I already have everything else in the collection. This is sad. This is horrible. I'm a grown man and I'm angry. Nerf used to be something special and this is what it's become now. I can't, I'm stretching the video. I have no words. This is garbage, Hasbro. Absolute garbage.